Hi, I'm Mark and I'm passionate about English, and today I'm in Poole Harbour, which is the second largest natural harbour in the world. I think Sydney Harbour is the largest natural harbour in the world. The tide is out, so where I'm sitting now, in a few hours the water will be here, although it's always quite shallow in this bit. The tide is, in some places the water goes out and then comes back in, I guess twice a day usually. Okay, and yeah, behind me you can see Brownsea Island, which is famous for a few reasons. One, it's where the Scout movement started, and by chance one of my friends, her brother, who's quite rich, lives in Baden-Powell's old house. Baden-Powell was the guy who started the Scout movement, the Boy Scout and the Girl Guide movement. Also, it's one of the few places where there are red squirrels. Lots and lots of grey squirrels in Britain, but they're stronger, and they've kind of attacked the red squirrels, which weren't so common anyway. But there are red squirrels on Brownsea Island. Also, they have outdoor Shakespeare performances every summer, and I happened to be in a few of those some years ago, in King Lear, Romeo and Juliet, and also in Hamlet. So it's a very nice area around here. And also to my right is Sandbanks, which is the fourth most expensive land in the world. It's not a very big area, but if you want to buy 1 square meter, it's extremely expensive. Okay, so today's topic is water, and I'm not sitting in very much water because just a bit of fun to help you remember the lesson a bit more and help you remember the idioms. So the first one is like a fish out of water. So let's say, for example, well, there are a lot of wealthy people around here, and let's say I go to a party and they're all very, very rich, all beautiful clothes, etc. So I would feel like a fish out of water because I'm not wealthy, I'm not beautiful, etc. I don't have a Mercedes. So yeah, it's when you're in a situation which is not normal for you, and usually you don't feel so comfortable about it. Okay, or maybe let's say I go and teach English in the Philippines, in a little village, and because nobody speaks English, and maybe for different reasons I find it difficult, I could say I felt like a fish out of water, because a fish of course needs to be in water, so to be out of water is not comfortable, not easy. Okay, the next one I explained I think in the first lesson in July when I was teaching from my bath, like water off a duck's back. If somebody says to me, well, first let me say, if you put water on a duck's back, it just comes off because of the oil in the feathers. So the water doesn't affect the duck. So if, for example, somebody said to me, Mark, I think your mini lessons are really stupid, they won't help anyone learn English, etc., etc. But if it doesn't affect me, doesn't bother me, doesn't change me in any way, I can say it was like water off a duck's back. Their comments didn't hurt me, didn't affect me, didn't bother me. Okay, the next one is to make waves. Okay, let's say this style of teaching English, there is a lot of stuff on the internet, but a lot of it is quite similar. But I hope this is unique, and I hope lots of people will get it and find it funny and useful. So you could say I hope to make waves in teaching English on the internet. I hope to make a difference. I hope to stand out, to make waves. And also it means, yeah, to be noticed. So it's the 21st or 22nd of July, and I've already got 6,000 likes on my Facebook page. So in a way, I've started to make waves. Okay, all at sea. All at sea means you're in a sort of a panic. Maybe you've got a lot to do and you're not sure how to cope with things, to deal with things, and you're worried. So I had a meeting with the website company director last week, and he gave me a long list of things we still need to do. And maybe I thought, somebody spoke to me the next day and I said, I'm all at sea. It's like there's so many things to do that I'm panicking and worrying and scared and so on. So I'm all at sea. A drop in the ocean. Okay, ocean is a big area of water, like the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, etc. And a drop, I don't know if I can show you a drop. That's a drop, and there's another drop. So a drop in the ocean is a very small amount in a very large amount. So that small amount doesn't really make much difference. Again, let's use my website company. Let's say the marketing man says, Mark, we need another £100 from you because of some improvements on the Facebook page. And because I spent a lot more than £100 already, I say, okay, it's a drop in the ocean. £100 in a lot more is not something worth worrying about. It doesn't have to be with money. Could be all sorts of situations. And in fact, it's such a useful idiom. I would recommend you Google that or look in the dictionary. Obviously, I can't give so many examples because it take too long. Okay, the tide is turning. Let's use my Facebook page. Let's say, for example, this is just an example, the first month I only had 10 likes and that's it. And then suddenly it started being 100, 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000. So we can say the tide is turning, the situation is changing. And we often use it for when it's changing for the better. So yeah, or maybe you started learning and feeling more confident about your English from watching my mini lessons, and you could say to your friend, do you know, I really feel more confident about my English now. The tide is turning. Okay. Tide, I hope I already explained. It's the water going out and then coming back in. Okay, it landed me in hot water. Very simple. It just means it got me in a difficult situation. Let's say you are learning English in a language school, and you're always late, and the director of studies wants to see you, and then after you could say to your friend, I've been late so often, it's landed me in hot water, it's got me in trouble or in a difficult situation. Okay, here's one that's often used with business. To water down our plans or to water down our proposals. So let's say when I first decided to have a passionateaboutenglish.com website, and I had some big plans, and I went to a website company and they said, Mark, this is going to cost £50,000, and I think, that's too much. So I decide to take some things out of the plans and things not so detailed, not so many pages, etc. So it's like with when you add water to something, it makes it weaker. So in this case as well, my plans are not so strong as I wanted them, and it's often because something's too expensive to do the way you want to do it. Okay, like water under the bridge. Okay, this is often used to talk about life. So if you have a river or a stream going under a bridge, the water can never go back. So, and in a way it's the same with life. Once you can't turn the clocks back, we say. Once something's happened, it's happened. And so it's kind of being a bit philosophical about life and just getting on with life, looking forward, not worrying about what's happened. And a proverb I just thought of, which is very similar to this, is it's no use crying over spilt milk. Spilt milk is when you dropped some milk out of the glass on the table or the floor or your sofa. It's no use means it's no good, there's no point, it doesn't help. So if you drop the milk, okay, clean it up and get some more milk. Don't worry about mistakes you've made or things that have been difficult. Look forward, not backward. Okay, two more. Keeping our heads above water is very simple. It just means surviving financially. So are you keeping your head above water? Okay, are you earning enough money? Do you have enough money to pay for the things you need to? And the next one and last one is out of my depth. Well, as you can see, I am definitely not out of my depth here. There's hardly any water, although very soon it'll be about 1 meter deep, I think. It never gets very deep in this part. So out of your depth, for example, let's say I joined an advanced Italian class. I would be out of my depth. It would be much, much too difficult for me. Or if I joined, I don't know if you can see some windsurfers behind me or kite surfers. If some friends said, do you want to come on a kite surfing holiday with me, and they are all very good kite surfers and it's a very windy place, I would be out of my depth. I did try kite surfing once, but I found it too difficult. But because they're all very good and it's very windy, I would be out of my depth. Okay, 2 jokes for you. Maybe you saw on my Facebook page, I recently found a baby seagull. And I'm looking after her until she can fly. But the joke is, what do you call seagulls who don't fly far from the shore or the coast? And the joke is bagels. Okay, so a bay is often another word for certain types of beaches, usually if they're in a sort of semicircle. So seagull, bagel, but bagel is also a kind of pastry. So again, it's using one word that sounds the same but has 2 different meanings. Okay, and the other one, I need to explain one word first. Occurrence. So if you go in the water, in some places the movement of the water can be quite strong and can be dangerous. Maybe you can even drown because it pulls you out or to the right or to the left, and you can't swim against the current. And obviously a strong current is a very strong amount of water moving, and of course more dangerous. So the joke is, my friend drowned in a bowl of muesli. A strong current pulled him in. Okay, it's another one of those jokes where the word has 2 different spellings but sounds the same. So current I just explained, but a currant is also a dried grape, which you can often find in muesli. Alright, so the question today is, and if this is the first lesson you've seen, in July I'm asking a question at the end of each lesson connected with the Beatles, and then hum the beginning of a song, a Beatles song. If you get them all right, you can win the first lesson for free, the first course for free in September. So the question is, in the song Come Together, what kind of water does John sing about? In the song Come Together, what kind of water does John sing about? And the reason I ask you sometimes questions connected with lyrics is to encourage you to Google the lyrics. You just, in this case, Come Together lyrics, and usually you'll come up with the lyrics. And then maybe you'll get interested in looking the meaning of the words, and you'll listen to the song, and it's a very good way to learn English. If I was learning English, I would really use songs to help me. And the hum for today is an appropriate one with the sea behind me, but I don't think there are any of these in the sea. But here we go. I think that's enough. I think that's dead easy. Piece of cake. A doddle. Okay, so that's the end of the mini lesson, but I'll just pause briefly and then I'll just film around me in a circle just to give you an idea. To my right actually is a place called Sandbanks, which is a small area, a peninsula actually, with a lot of very expensive houses there. And in actual fact, Harry Redknapp, who was the manager of Tottenham and now is the manager of, I think, West Ham football club in Britain, he lives over there, as do quite a few other famous people. Anyway, if you want to buy land there, it's the 4th most expensive in the world. Okay, I'll just see you in a moment and show you a bit of the area. Okay, so I'm now standing up, and looks like a group of Asian students. I don't know if they're students, maybe they actually live around here, but yes, as I said before, the water will come in the next few hours. It'll be up to about my waist, I guess. So you can see some windsurfers and Brownsea Island. I'll go slowly, and this is where I'm going to release my baby seagull. It's such a nice area and there's plenty of food around. Lots and lots of boats, and over there we have a pool, or the waterfront of a pool, which is very old, at least 1,000 years old, I think. And then I'm slowly going to come round, and this is the sort of one of the roads that leads to Sandbanks. And so the tide actually goes out a long way here, and you can see some of the houses, very nice places. And then we are going around, following around in a circle, and you might be able to see the tops of some kites, some people kite surfing. And then still going around. This area there is called Sandbanks, and as I said, that's a peninsula with extremely expensive properties. Even a small flat will probably cost over £1 million. And then just coming back round here and back to where we were. Okay, that's it for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one. Bye for today.